four great sporting cities: Gothenburg, Baku, Brno and Istanbul. Europe's best have gathered for 17 days of championship volleyball. 24 nations, 76 matches and one prize at the end of it all: the crown of the European champions. From four corners of the continent, EuroVolley 2026 is underway. Well, hello there and welcome to the CEV Trendyol EuroVolley 2026. France were superb in their opener on day one, and they are up against a Croatian side who put in a very strong performance against Italy and had them on the ropes in sets 2 and sets 3. Well, Croatia were beaten in straight sets by Italy, but that result only tells half of the story. They lost the opening set 25-9, and they recovered to push Italy to 25-22 and 25-23. They're improving all the time already in this competition, and a good performance today will certainly put France under some pressure. Well, France arrive rested after sweeping Slovakia 3-0 in a game that only lasted 75 minutes. They allowed just 47 points across the match and produced 4 different players with at least 8 points. France have never won this competition, and they've never won a medal at EuroVolley, where the men, who have had a lot of success at Olympic level, won this in 2015. A certain Irvin Engepeth producing his usual magic.
Samantha, first match is behind you against Italy. Now second challenge against France. Can you surprise them?
Yes, Italy is behind us. First set we start a little bit slowly, but after second and third set I think we show some good moments, and this was actually good preparation for a France team. We're gonna try to do our best and really try to surprise them.
Miss Juliette, the second match is against Croatia. Before you, what do you think about this match, and can you try to win again?
I mean, this game is super important for us, like all the game. It's our second game in this competition, and we saw Croatia play very great, so it's a tough opponent that we expect a lot of battle and a lot of challenge. So it's a good opportunity for us to keep evaluating our level and keep pushing through our limits in this competition.
Well, Juliette Julan, the libero, who will be playing at Bergamo next season, and Samantha Fabris, who once played for Ekşehirspor in Turkey. But Croatia, their challenge is to begin where they finished against Italy, and you got that feeling from Fabris. They cannot afford another slow start against the French side that created enormous early separation against Slovakia. Slovakia did bounce back, and they were tremendous in a 3-2 loss yesterday to Sweden. Was that Slovakia at their best? And maybe we didn't see them at their best against France because France just battered them from the offset. But France, without injured star Helena Kozak, but also without Lucille Jaquil, their opening performance, though, suggested that responsibility has been shared effectively. Well, the two captains, the experienced Bojana Botigon and the French number 3, Amandine Jardineau. Making the toss moments ago. There is the schedule. Well, there's over 6,200 fans squeezed in here yesterday for Sweden. And what was a tough battle against Slovakia, they have to go again against Italy, and that is a mouth-watering tie. As we have a look at the pool, top 4 teams will go through to the knockout round. So a win here for Croatia really needed to try and force their way up the table. For France, if they can go 2-0 early on, they've done some of the heavy lifting towards making that Final Four from this Pool D and going into the round of 16. Well, they were runners-up, Croatia, in 95, 97, 99. And as the players make their way out, it's France first. There is Jalen, who played Milano for some time, but they have an incredible squad. The captain already out there. They have youth, they have experience. Iman and Shai there did not play in the first game against Slovakia. Fatima Vanjidou is another one who didn't come on but could come in and cause quite a stir. Amanda Silvez has a lot of experience. She'll be playing her volleyball in the USA next year. Leandra Alinga Andela plays her volleyball at Mulhouse. Didn't see her, but we did see Marti in one set against Slovakia, plays in France, another youngster, but Cyril Dupé was a big player in that Slovakia win, and just 19 years old. Herself and Eva Alunga, two big players, 15 and 9 points in that first game. And Nora Donada Salus is the setter, plays her volleyball in Paris alongside Dupi. And there's the other one to keep an eye on. Well, Emily Rota and Halamatu Bar are two incredible outsides who are filling the gap from Helena Kazut. And a lot of the pressure will be on them, but Halamatu Bar with 14 points was sensational in that first game. Isabella Stimats was 42% positive in her reception in that first game. She'll be playing as a libero. We're not expecting any changes today. Mika Gabavica, 14 points on the outside against Italy, and no tougher game than that. Emma Strujak, another one that started with 4 points, 80%, so it just shows if they can run the middle, they are very effective through there. Butajan, Mihailovic, Myrta Freund and Massa Milner have all made their way out, as Jospa Markovic didn't play in that first game, the outside hitter. Samantha Fabris, who came out previously just there, is the one that we're going to have to keep an eye on. Has a lot of high-level volleyball behind her, including that stint at Jajabasi. Adrina Jakasic was last out. Isabella Stimac did play. And last of all, Leandro Grabic makes up the team with Igor Arbacuna. So that's the side from Croatia. I don't think we will see any changes. France versus Croatia. It's time for the anthems. Well, it's a French team that reached the quarterfinals of the 2025 World Championships. They lost to Brazil, but they're without Helena Kazut, their top scorer in that World Championships. Croatia claim their ticket for this competition, finishing top of their qualifying group ahead of Romania and Kosovo, but they've lost 8 EuroVolley matches in a row. There were certainly signs against Italy that they are here to break that unfortunate record, and Igor Abacuna, the first Croatian coach in your picture to coach at EuroVolley since Igor Lovrenov in 2013. But already we know all about the big hitters, Cyril Dupé and Juliette Julan, two to really watch alongside Fabrice. The referees for this one, Marko Oravainen and Gregor Novak. Well, the last EuroVolley meeting lasted 139 minutes between these two teams. Croatia led France by 2-1, but France recovered to win in the fifth, 15-12. Well, you don't expect any changes from the side. Croatia popping up as France are being announced, as there is no changes for Croatia, but for France, we know that they're going to go with Dupé at opposite at 19, Barr and Rotar providing power and athleticism outside. Silves and Aluga offer a long mobile blocking presence through the middle. And Julan will hold it all together defensively. That is the France starting lineup today. And Cyril Dupé, keep an eye on her. 15 points, the 19-year-old who plays at Lavoie Paris. Well, for Croatia, it looks exactly the same. Strunak is going to start in the middle. Samantha Fabris on that right side. There's also a start for Leonardra Grabic as well, all making EuroVolley debuts. Bojana Butigan starts in the middle alongside Fabris, the experienced heads in this Croatia side. Gravica and Fabris must provide the points. Butigan is the captain and central blocking reference as we have a look at France, even though it's just been Croatia that have been announced. While the French head coach, Cesar Hernandez, his first EuroVolley as a head coach, and there is Abacuna, who's looking locked in at the moment. Croatia looking to get back to those glory years. They're still definitely in that rebuilding phase, and they're the only nation to have lost 3 finals in a row in 95, 97 and 99. But they have been, in recent years, the Challenger Cup champions in 2022. This current selection is younger, and it omits several familiar senior names, but they have got Fabris, they have got Butigan. Well, France starting on the right of your screen, Croatia on the left. The quarterfinalists, France in 2023 and that 2025 World Championships campaign, but they have lost their 2 top scorers from those campaigns. Lucille Jaquel, 114 points in 2023, and Helena Kazut, 109 points in 2025. Both out injured. France still have a lot of physicality at their disposal. We are underway here with France receiving and Croatia serving in the red. A tip to start us underway. Antunovic, the setter, can come in, and straight away the defense of France has been tested, and Dupé's looking for a touch early on. Will we have a challenge in the first point of this Pool D matchup? Well, on the day yesterday, that produced a wonderfully strange split. 8 matches, 4 straight set victories, 4 5-set battles, and 32 sets in total without a single 4-set match. That's a great tip. Julan is there. But Croatia have started this game as they finished against Italy. And that's exactly what Julan can do. Caesar early, pancake defense. But in Pool A, Slovenia stunned Germany 3-0. Fatima Tasila's 24 points. Pool B, Greece recovered from 2-1 down to beat Ukraine. Belgium came from 2-1 behind to beat Spain. There were some big games. And then we know here in Pool D that Montenegro were beaten by Italy 3-0 before the 5-set humdinger between Slovakia and Sweden. That's a humdinger from France to get us underway, and they just look full of form. At 19 years of age, we have a world-class opposite growing in EuroVolley 2026. Pass is good, but the block is even better one-on-one. And look who's there again. Dupé sees it and just gets in front of it. The quick offense means that sometimes you don't have as many angles. They're trying to beat the block, but Dupé just gets in front of the hitter and takes everything. They're out of rhythm here. Croatia have to be careful, as are France, but that's really well kept alive. And France battled their way through. Well done, Anora Danard-Salos. The pancake to keep this up. That's 2 pancakes already from France in this game. In the end, it's the blocking again. Aluga in the thick of it. Let's have a bit of a hectic start to this game as Portugal, Belgium already taking place. 3-0, Belgium just brushed aside Portugal. Smash serve out the back. Crazy thing here is that Dupé's already on 3 points, and we haven't even started this game. She's the only one that's scored for France. That just shows already how much France will rely on that right side without Jaquel, but it's an ace. It's a wonderful ace as well. Aluga, in her first European Championships, rips one through the seam. Nothing Stimac can do about that one. And the seam management here has to be on point from Croatia, because France do come out and they do serve well. And if you look at French volleyball on the whole, having the Olympic Games has certainly helped them in all facets, beach and indoor, to the outside. And for the first time, we get a good look at how physical Halimat Dubar can really be. Going to play for San Francisco Signal in the USA this year, having played in Italy before. Challenge. You can already see how physical France are. It'll be interesting to see how they fare against the likes of Sweden and Italy, who are both undefeated in Pool D. They're certainly going to run it close, but you feel without Helena Kuzul, somebody who's been at Champions League Final Fours and played at the very highest level, they just will maybe miss that little bit of experience and point-scoring edge, but passing stability from her as well. Well, Isabel Hack scored 38 points here for Sweden. No block touch. They're looking for it, not far away. And that was the top scorer in this whole competition on day 2 by 10 points. Marta Anhuli from Greece scored 28. But it just shows how important that individual performance really was. Sweden winning in 5. Hack getting set almost every ball in that tiebreaker and delivering the goods at an efficiency of around 60%. Passes off from France. Julan, yeah, there's a problem here. They might get called for a double. Let's have a look. Julan steps in, and in the end, not very happy. The French there. Dana Zalus felt like she could get her hands on that one. It'd be interesting to know whether she did communicate to the libero to take it or not. But the service is there at the moment. How's the out-of-system hitting from France? Dana Zalus is there. Back to the outside, and a high rip again from Bar. As we were saying, with Italy, Antropova being the biggest outside hitter, 2 meters plus. When everything is all a little bit at sea with the first 2 touches, it's great to have a 188 athletic outside to give the ball to. And Bar moving from Chieri to the USA, but on the outside, Croatia are showing us a little bit of that consistency that tested Italy, and Fabri's accessing the line is a very good swing off a quick tempo set. You have to say, good setting from the setter as well, and Tuna, but this time through the pipe. They're going to have to run the pipe, you feel, Croatia, if they want to be successful and have that extra option to try and hold the middle. Just a little bit of frustration already, but good start to this game, because Croatia is certainly asking a lot more questions from France than what we saw from Slovakia in the early stages of that opening game. But there is still some errors. Strunak round the back. Julan again showing us that she's just everywhere defensively, and she really is the engine for this French team. With all the physicality they have, they really need the best digger from the VNL over the past 2 years to do a lot of the heavy lifting.
Šire stat u bloku, znači ne smijemo stavljati previše prostora za paralelu i drži ovu obranu. Ajde.
If they keep up with the service pressure. Julan is there again. And that's 3 or 4 digs, maybe with a pancake on top that have been superb. Tip again. This time it's Dupé putting herself around defensively. Fast in transition. It's another fabulous dig. This time Amélie Rotard making sure she gets off the net to play defense. Julan's going to be there once more. France are showing an intensity about their game that is certainly matching or even going in front of Croatia. And with the physicality that they have and the outlets they have on the pin, you know that it's going to be a good day for France if they're throwing themselves around and matching the intensity of Croatia. It has to be Croatia setting the tone in terms of putting themselves on the floor and being really sacrificial for each other. But France were brilliant. And once again, they've started this game perfectly, committing to the middle at the perfect time. Amanda Silves had 8 points in that win against Slovakia. And she's somebody that's been around a lot of different places playing her volleyball, got a lot of experience that this team will certainly have to rely on throughout this competition. And she's there again. Back-to-back blocks for France, and they have certainly started as they finish. Rotard going with the tip. It's good just to get Stimac and Croatia out of rhythm. And then Silva's nose is going to the outside. The ball's really inside on the hitter. She lines up beautifully. to Bar with the serve. It's a good run of serves, this. Fabrice Bar's there playing defense, and not even Juliette Juland can get after that one. She's been everywhere else. We've seen some good play from Fabrice as well. We've seen both the cross-body angle and the one away from the body used early on. Good range from the right side is crucial to make it difficult for the opposing coach to put the block in the right spot and the defense around it. Miss serve. Sweden, Italy later on in Pool D. And you think that they're going to break the attendance record once again here in Gothenburg. There was over 1,000 more yesterday than there was on Friday. Tips ride and play on the pipe, and that's a smart play, especially after getting blocked twice, but also with Dupuy playing defense at position 1. And on the pipe, you have to step back a little bit defensively and just flatline a little bit. Rota, whose brother is an international beach volleyball player, just took a bronze at Euro Beach Volley last week in Stari Jablonki. Fabrice once more, you have to say. I don't think the score's doing Croatia justice here. They've put together some excellent runs of play, some good work in transition as well. And Fabrice has started well, the most established name in this Croatian side. I mean, she's played at the highest levels of Italian, Russian, Turkish and Japanese leagues, all the big ones. And that's who they're really trusting when the play breaks down. But this time, they're serving very well, using the outsides. France again, bodies chasing. But this time, Luna Becic is aggressive on that wing.
In the middle of the block, okay? One step in front, okay? Protect the drop. After line is every time a good option. After with Fabrice, okay? Wait the opposite. When she's back row, we leave the line open. Okay, we want to defend with the libero here, okay? Don't fly, stop here, and protect this area, okay? Ale, one side out, Ale, pass,
Smart, leaving the line on the 10 attack for Fabrice was what I picked up there. I don't know what else you picked up from home, wherever you're watching from. Welcome to EuroVolley here on EuroVolley TV. It's a sensational competition over 4 different cities, and we've had a fabulous couple of days here in Pool D. And with Fabrice on the backcourt, let's see if putting the defender in the line is the right option. I would suggest yes, but France don't need to worry about block defense in that rally, because to the pin, Rota puts her second point on the board for France. Donacelo has been at Paris for a while alongside Dupuy. What a set that is from Julan. Jump setting, running the pipe. We don't see so much of the pipe in this French team at the moment. They're going to go high to the pins, which they can do all day long and be successful with Rota and with Bar on the pins. They've always got a high ball option out there. And from Julan again. She's had a great start to this game, and she is everywhere. France have really started this European Championships well. And looking at their injury issues, I mean, Kazor, as we said before, the top scorer at the World Championships when they took 5th and lost to Brazil, out of the team, but also Lucille Jaquel, who's got so much experience for France playing on that right side. Whether she'd be in front of Dupuy, who knows, but it's certainly a loss for France. High again, Rota goes with the volley. It's well picked up by Antonovic. and Fabris and Croatia are not going anywhere. First of all, the defense is excellent, but they do give a bit of a line to Fabris, but now she's back on the front court. And we've seen that she loves that wrist away swing a couple of times. Good serving again. France, I think for the first time in their first 2 matches, are under a little bit of pressure in that reception. But if they can't battle through the rally, they always have their chances with Dupé. He said just a team that can play themselves out of trouble every single time with big options. I think Croatia are going to be a little bit frustrated. Bojana Butigan not quite reacting on that one. Antunovic to the outside. Becic can't put away a second consecutive ball. Croatia out of rhythm. What have they got here? Fabris is tight to the net. France once again showing that they're here not only to play physically, but they are here to scrap as well. They want to hand over here, France, but it's not been given. But to the outside in a one-on-one situation, you put all the money on the world, in the world, on Halematu Bar to put that one away. Julan again staying composed, and it's a good set. It just gives Dupé something to work with from a tough situation. And Rotar's not happy because she wants to get serving, and a timeout's been called.
Sa servisom, strpljivo, prvi je set, znači gradi igru, duga utakmica, okej? Ajmo dalje, ajde.
Frenchies are in, the Swedes are in the house as well. 1,000 more fans yesterday than what we saw on Friday in this arena. It was bouncing as Sweden went 2 up, back to 2-2, and took it in the 5th. And this evening they have a free hit at the Olympic and world champions Italy. But France, with Barr on the front court, are just unstoppable. More blocking issues. Becic is told to go to the outside for Butigan. Yeah, all smiles for France because that was an easy one for Barr. Croatia just, again, just at times, just losing points on things that they can control a little bit better, but it's another block through the middle, and it doesn't matter who's in there. Silves and Aluga doing wonders for France. Who are looking like they have got the absolute weapons out here to cause a lot of issues for the likes of Sweden and from Italy as well. It's another monster block getting across. The subs love it. And the high ball to the outside is dealt with beautifully from Cyril Dupé. Make that 3 blocks already for her in this game, which is outstanding. They find a way through this time, Croatia, and that's where they're suffering a little bit, is just getting round the block of France. That's difficult. They do this time. They have to stay aggressive. They have to stay fast with their feet. They have to stay high with their arm. Well, reception replacement Giardino comes in, who played for Valera Lacane as part of that quarter-final, making the team last time out from France, and the captain is in here to come in and just help with the reception and help out Bar. They won't be running the pipe so often, but they will just need to get the ball into their setter there in your picture, Donatsalos, to run the offense, and especially in these rotations when you've got Bar on the front court, Dupé on the front court. That first ball goes in, you've got a very good split, especially with the physical middles. Jardino has to come in and set this one, though. It's a good set. Dupé gets blocked, and again through the middle, Silves this time. The middles are absolutely crushing this game from France. And you already feel that for Croatia, who put up a real strong performance in set 2 and set 3 against Italy, they're getting stung here early on against a French team who just don't really give you space to breathe. Two miss serves in a row as Bulgaria. Big news that Bulgaria are 1-0 up against Serbia, and they're also winning by 5 in set 2 as well. Off the top of the net band, Striak has to do a lot of work there, pass it, and then do a little bit of DIY. The main thing is to try and get her out of the offense, but she gets herself right back in, and that change of direction with the tip is a smart one, with Silves swinging to her right-hand side. Free ball. Big chance this for Croatia, one that they need to take. One that they certainly do take as well. So the CEV under-20s happening at the same time here, and that is my mistake. That's exactly where that Serbia-Bulgaria game was taking place, but through the back. And a smart play. The width of that set is underestimated for sure. That has to be very good, pinpoint to access the line, and it is. Silves will do the rest, and she'll go back and say, good set. But Germany currently on top against Latvia. That is the game that's happening at this moment in time. And France have been terrific, and because of that they are well on top in this opening set. The physicality, the balance, the blocking, yes, it's not always perfect with that first contact, but on the whole they have so many physical options in their roster that they can hurt you, and then hurt you again. Again, first pass isn't quite there, but Rotar can still be aggressive. It's good setting. Croatia go with the tip once more. Julan is with the pancake, third pancake of the set for Julan. Big chance for France to get this done. Julan's there again. What a touch that is. It's absolute perfection. And then they go through Dupé, and the libero has to take a bow for that one. France have started exactly as they left off against Slovakia, and that is absolutely bombarding the opposition with physicality and in the block as well. And Croatia have started exactly as they started against the Italians, and that's a little bit slower We'll see what happens in sets 2, 3, and maybe 4 and 5. But Italy, at the moment, on top. Well, the serving targets from France, not a much on the front court receiver, a lot to 6 and a lot to 1. And that's going to be for a lot of different reasons. They might be trying to serve a weak passer, but they might also be trying to serve an option to take them out of the offense. So, blocking distribution for Croatia. You feel that they're going to have to (23-22) up in that third set as well. France, whose best of a fourth in this competition was all the way back in 1951. Quarterfinalists in 2021 and 23 are looking like a good bet to make it through to the knockout rounds already here in EuroVolley. Well, France have started on an absolute tear again. Winning the first set 25-16. Dupuy, 6 points, 3 blocks. Silves at the moment on 4 as well, 2 blocks and 2 kills from 2, but the efficiency from Dupuy at 30%, but not too many errors, which is key there. She's making a lot of good choices. They go to the outside. Everyone knows it's going to the outside. Bars there. Rotar, high ball, will look for some hands, but will get none of them. A scrappy one from both sides to get us underway in set 2. Rotar too high for the hands of Croatia. Dupuy on the front court. Miss serve. We've seen a few of those out the back. Third day of using the new EuroVolley ball. Beautiful looking volleyball. I'm not usually a man that pays much attention to things like that, but it does look pretty good. Unsure how it plays as of yet. I'm sure it's great. To the middle, Julan sees everything. Has there been a ball that she has not done? Late decision from the referee, gives it Croatia's way. Julan sees everything, can pick up on the approach, knows where the ball is in relation to the hitter's window, adapts accordingly. France will challenge this one. they're looking for a block touch. And they've got the block touch. So it wasn't the baseline they were looking for at all. Rotar, who plays her volleyball in Romania. Very successful season last year for her. Tip cover's good, and that's the small things from the big physical outsides that you just love to see. Saw it from Andropova yesterday, just on the tip cover, not letting anything go on the defense and giving France a chance to rebuild. Julan was also there, but she'll be happy when she sees her front court pin making those digs in front of her. Big serve to the line. And it's just out. A late change of direction from Rotar, and the passes will be really glued into where Rotar is facing, and they'll be protecting those sorts of lines. And then if she turns it late like that, it's going to be very tough, but higher risk of a serve as well, so more chance of making the error. It's technically more difficult. To the outside defense again from France, and when Croatia do play with physicality, it's either their block or their defense doing a lot of the work, and that's superb again. Two balls from Anora Danard-Salos in the setter position that were phenomenal, and finally there's one ball from Carla Antonovic that beats the brilliant French libero Julia Julan. Well, France played in the VNL, took a 17th place. Took 3 wins, though, against Ukraine, Serbia, and Bulgaria, but also lost 4 games against European sides. But the top scorer, with 137 points, hasn't really played a lot. Was off the bench yesterday, Lilu Ratihi, but we haven't seen as of yet. Off the shoulder, 3 ball incoming. They get to reload with the slide, and that's very good. This is much better from Croatia. The first ball is in a better position, closer to the net with good tempo. They can look to run different offenses, stop relying on Fabrice all the time. They had to work their way to that moment, though. The first phase of play, again, scrappy, but here, 3 ball dealt with beautifully from Emma Shruniak. 4 points against Italy at 80%. She was 4 from 5. And that's excellent. The tip is there again, but absolute credit to Bar. They want the touch, they get the touch. There's no complaints from Croatia. But we've been talking about Hadamatu Bar and her offensive capabilities, but there's 2 defensive plays in this rally alone that are sensational. And they're 2 plays where France went on to win the point. So all those things, all of those defensive things add up. Good speed. They're staying with the quick attempt. Becic playing a bigger role today than she did against Italy. And as soon as they do run the middle, they'll hold Silves, they'll hold Aluga, and the quick place to the pin will get rewarded. Two in the block. And as soon as the high ball goes up, the middles have a chance to get across and join the pins, and then it's problems. It's exactly what we saw in the opening set at times. Silves knows exactly where that's going. She gets a great block on Fabrice, who again, they're giving the line to on that 10 attack. Remember, we heard that from the head coach of France earlier on, Cesar Hernandez. Tip, that's a nice play. Run the ball quick, tip it back the other way, make the defense shift one way, and always fun to watch. You can have a player cam on Anora Donard-Salus, because always a fun person to watch, whether she's setting or in between the points. Animated and a proper leader of this team in that setting department. That ball's not there for Rota. High on the opposite, tips there once more. Julan goes to Dupé, she gets dug in the angle. It's a good dig. Croatia are battling, but the block of France is just ferocious. It really is. Then the serve to back it up. And this is the France side that have been so impressive in EuroVolley. Service pressure, block pressure. Croatia and Isabella Stimac thought that was out the back. But it was the high, big dipper. And that one's not as high, but the pass is very stable. And the middle's not quite working. And all of a sudden, a block from Silves, backed up with two big serves, have really put the pressure back on Croatia here. You have to say, in preparation for this competition, playing VNL and having those games, the amount of games as well that they had over sort of a 6-week period prepares them so well for this European Championships. Keeps the squad and the coach together for the majority of the summer, and then it gets to this moment here and they're ready to go. Rota high off the hands, looking sharp. It's point number 4 for Rota, who's only 4 from 14 in offense, but she's incredibly solid. We've seen one error, but we don't see many. First pass again off the net. It's going to give the middle blockers a real chance, and then Julan can set up around them, and that's a big dump. One that might just get called for a lift, and that's what has been called. It's settled in the hand, it's forced straight down, and Croatia didn't like it. Rightfully so. That ball cannot settle in the hand. Has to be a much quicker action. Otherwise, it would just turn into a throwing contest. And those rules have been, well, investigated with a fine tooth comb to try and iron out what's best for the sport going forward. But there's another block. How many blocks are we going to get from France? That's block 9 in this game. And at some point, you have to say Croatia have to change their game plan. Just hitting low swings or fast sets might not be enough to beat this French team.
Da se zaštitimo, da ponovimo ako nije dobar. Puhanja pokrivaju dobro iza bloka, znači tražite drugačija rješenja u napadu. Ajmo malo vjere, a flot servis mora biti agresivan, znači opet smo krenuli nesigurno servirati. Znači pojačati servis, imamo 2 mete u terenu. Ajde.
CEV President Rocco Sikoric in attendance. Great to have you here, sir, doing a fine job leading the way for European volleyball, and he will be very proud of the work himself and the CEV have done. And also, he's here for the game this evening between Sweden and Italy, which will be a packed house here. But first of all, everyone in this group is going to be watching the way France are going about their business at the moment. Again, they're struggling to turn big angles, Croatia, and that's really hurting them against the block. France have no such issue. It's been comfortable, isn't it? Ace from Rotar this time. And France are breezing past Croatia more comfortably than even Italy did in this second set. That's perfection once more from the service line. We saw a couple from Silves, now a couple from Rotar. And France just keep coming. I mean, the games will be getting somewhat tough. They have Montenegro. Then they have Italy and Sweden to finish. We're a third of the way through the games in this pool, having had 3 games on the opening day. Fabrice will keep having to stay aggressive and deliver, which she certainly can, but she can't do it alone. And there is the first block of the game, and it's against Alamatouba. That's a big moment. Strujak gets across. They just need a couple of those big plays to try and build some momentum. We've seen big momentum shifts over the first 3 days. Good in the middle, that's a fabulous response. We haven't seen so much middle work from France, but when they have gone there, Silves is 2 from 2, and Aluga now 2 from 3. But if they are so pin heavy, the middles are going to have a good chance when they do get set. In rhythm. Fast attack round the back, and that might have gone the wrong side of the sideline. Play again. Let's see, close call. But out, and you just think, for as physical as Dupé is, don't always need to try and run her on that quick tempo. Yes, it works if you're going to beat the middle blocker into the angle, but another play, she hits the high ball so good as well. There's a man trying to put a puzzle together in his head. How does his team get back in to this game? Not with netband aces. Everything going the way of France here. Off the top of the netband, there is no digging that. You have to feel for Becic.
Mogućnosti napast, ali moramo taj servis agresivnije odraditi, malo više povjerenja. Imate 2 mete. Imamo dobar servis, samo si maknite taj teret sa sebe. Samo o tome mislite i onda na visoku loptu, nakon u tranziciji agresivno napad, ne oko pimpla te lopte. Ajde!
Service pressure on the front court receiver continues. Becic having to pass and then try and spike away on that one. She's under immense pressure. Out of system. Looks for the fingertips of Danard Salos. have Croatia got a case here? They lost out in the final of the Golden League in 2019 to Czechia and in 2021 to Bulgaria. But they won in the final against Belgium in 2022, a great performance, 3-1. But they are without Anna Burilovic, who was their top scorer and among the best receivers in that competition as well. Arbutuna has to wait. For a moment, as do Croatia, trying to keep themselves warm. God, that's unfortunate. If that hasn't taken a touch, couldn't have been any closer, really, could it? There's a right decision. Bečić just hits the seam when she's trying to hit hands. It's unfortunate from her. There's still some afters here. I think France think they've won the point and Croatia saw a touch. So now's the time for Cesar Hernandez, Amelie Rotar to get involved, and that man, Igor Arbutuna, is staying out of it. Not much he can control at this moment, but the point does go France's way, and I think that's fair enough. No block touch. They're incredibly close. And I think Struniak's face tells us everything we need to know. Croatia feel a little bit hard done by there. But the pass is into a good spot, and Struniak can put things right. She can't, because France on the tip cover are excellent again, and the timing on that right side isn't quite where it was on day one of this competition. And that's maybe the one thing for France where it hasn't quite gone the same way as we saw against Slovakia, because P had an absolute field day. She's still the top scorer with 11 points, 4 blocks, but 7 from 20, or 6 from 20, sorry, offensively. But we might just want a few more. As we said, France covers such a big serve block threat that they're making so many points, and then plays like that where Barr just finds a way. And that's just a lack of closure from Butigan. Doesn't quite go fast enough with the hands to claim it. Another change. Julan comes back in. Julan is there once again. She has been terrific. And when you talk about engine rooms and people who just set the tone, she is leading this French team from a defensive perspective so well. The digs there again, but maybe there's a net touch against France. There is a net touch against France. And here come Croatia. Another block. They've had 2 in quick succession. Well, they went 1.5 sets without one. And the experienced Buttigan gets across and seals beautifully. And the pipe, we haven't seen much of it, but bar on the pipe is dangerous, but the tempo and the connection not quite there on that play, but that might still be traveling. Timeout from France. I think that might be the first one of this match.
This is how they are there. If we can put for everybody, setters and the one that set, if we can put the ball a little bit closer to the antennas, after we can find more options on the line, especially in four. Okay. You call here, we were working before. Ale now, one side now.
France, maybe for the first time feeling a little bit of pressure. The set's not quite there for Rota, so she just continues play and tries to find some pressure. The block defense again from France is something that can really bail them out of pressure, but Rota gets one off the third blocker here. Out of rhythm. She knows that it's going to be very, very tough for Becic to get across and seal. And she smuggles one down the front of her, but those are the plays that France won't get away with against the likes of Italy in this group. The Italian blockers will be incredibly well set. Might just have the read of the game that little bit earlier. Close call. Sort of. Becic with the jumper. Croatia improving, but France still 4 in front. Dupay, that's the connection that we saw against Slovakia. Good height, good width. Dupay can really go after the line. We know that she loves the crossbody as well, but there's no stopping that. And then the ace from France to back it up. That's what I mean from France. Tough serving, good blocking, good physical outlets on the pins. That just makes them a headache for the opposition. There's a few headaches. Donald Salot with the serve. Round the back, the tip's there. Setter picks it up nicely. Julan and Rotar again gets stopped. And the middles are starting to get to the outside early, especially in these out-of-rhythm balls. Rotar loses a little bit of height, hitting again from off the net. Buttigan's there. Marsha Milner. Played but didn't score, came off the bench as a serving sub against Italy. She goes straight after Rotar, but that's brilliant from Amélie Rotar. High-level side-out work. France do get the ball in rhythm, and from there they look unstoppable. The last play from Dupay and this one. Good luck, even for a blocker of Fabrice's experience. Back in comes Stimats. Also plays her volleyball in France de la Canet. So she'll know a lot of these play as well. French blocking has been superb. They know it's going to the outside. Kill block number 10 brings up set point for France. Good luck getting past that when you're not in full rhythm. again, using the middle is going to help Croatia a lot, but when the pass isn't there, they can't. And when they do evade the block, Julan is on the outside, just waiting patiently. 2 up again from France. Their blocking is there. They're so well disciplined, and they're reading it so nicely as well. Julan with the free ball. France to go 2-0. Dupé, the top scorer in this game, as she was in the opening win against Slovakia. France are up 2-0 here, having won the opener to 16, set 2s to 17. Croatia showing in periods that they can put France under pressure, but France are just too strong in their block defense, their serve, and they have enough physicality on the pins to get them out of trouble when they need it. This is how it finished, and that was point 13 for Celia Dupé. 4 blocks, 1 ace, and 8 kills for the opposite hitter. And that's a big reason why France lead 2-0, but they have a great split everywhere. Rotar with 7, Silves with 6, and Aluga with 5, Bard just with 4, which is surprising with how strong she was in the first game. Stats tell you everything, but 10 blocks to 4 is unbelievable. A lot through the left from France, and that'll be some of it will be because of the game plan, but some of it will be just because the ball has to go there. We saw so many balls go to the outside because the first pass is off, or it's low, or it's in a position where Darnard Salos are struggling. Croatia service targets a lot on the front court receiver, a few balls to position 1, and it's hard to really break that down for you at home because it all depends on the rotation of France. In certain rotations, they'll go after Rotar, as we've seen. In other rotations, they'll go to position 1 to try and force the ball to different areas of the net from Darnard Salus. But the stats don't really matter at the moment. The main storyline Well, will Lightning strike twice like yesterday? Will Croatia do a Slovakia and come back to 2-2? Doesn't look like it at the moment, but we've seen in Fitz and Spurs that they're certainly capable of putting together some good volleyball. We saw that against Italy on game day 1, didn't we? Really did have their chances in the back end. That man's got a few things he has to try and get his head around. The first pass has to be strong, and you think with the block the way it is from the French, that ball has to go in, and they have to use the middle. They're good in the middle. but they just don't get the ball there enough. And on the pins, the big blockers from France are really having a field day. France will go to the top of Pool D with another 3-0 victory on points difference. To my maths, anyway. Maths has never been my strong point, I would like to add. Didn't go well for me at school, but with their performance in the first game and the way they're playing now, as there is Rocco Sikoric again. Doing a lot for European volleyball, second year at the helm. France have really set their stall out in this competition. I mean, we talked about their form at the World Championships where they got to the quarterfinals. That was their first World Championship since 1974, but as we were saying earlier, riding the wave of that Olympic Games in Paris, that was France's first Olympic Games. They lost all three in the pool, but just the amount of time, effort and investment that goes into preparing an Olympic team really does prepare you for the years that come after the Olympic Games, as Julan is back in the mix of it. This is desperate for Croatia. They go off to a good start. Julan is there once more. She's everywhere, but match there from Stamac. And now they get a free ball. They're working so hard for each other, and the tip over the top is a good one. Another free ball. And this is the best way. If France lose their control of that first ball, which is at times going to be their Achilles heel in this competition, you can see it. Croatia really have the chance to put a lot of pressure on their serve and get France into situations like this, where they may just get their way back into the game. Antonovic. Filling this target, and even she's struggling with that first ball to control the serve, but the French way, they can dish it high to the pins and still come with real firepower. Julan really tracks it well, goes to the ground, so loses a lot of the stability there and the power from the ground, but she's hardly made an error in this entire game, and she's there again. This time to the left-hand side, but it's another free ball, and they are trying to use the middle, and then they do use the middle, and guess who's waiting for it? Eva Alunga. And Khan just jumps in front, sees it so early, and gets her hands in front of the Croatian middle. They're trying to use the middle. They're trying to do the right things to open up the pins here, Croatia. And do they open up the pins now? What a touch that is. Maybe that's the best one of the lot. Unbelievable from Julan. Now she has a chance to set high to the outside. And Barr looks for hands. Does she get hands? No. Are France going to challenge this? Fabrice, nowhere near that. Did a real good job of winning the 50-50 to joust ball before. Dupé. And this is France at their best again. The ball's in a perfect zone. They can run faster than what the middle blocker, Boutegan, can get across. And that seam opens up, and there's no digging that. Doesn't matter who you are, any player playing 6 getting in between the seams there. No chance. The outside, straight down from France, but it's blocked out. We haven't seen many of those. The arm just about quick enough from Mika Gerbovica. And that's good to watch. She's turning the ball more than we've seen. So when it does go off the hands, it's going to take the ball out of play. And at times we've just seen Croatia hit those swings that are just low and straight into the blocker's hands. At this level, Croatia are just going to have to understand that those plays will come. That's an absolute rip to the line from Bar. P. Going with that float serve. And the ball's off the net, so this gives the block a chance again from the French. And if the block's not there, then chances are that Julan is there and in transition. You can just see that that first pass isn't giving Croatia the chance to put enough pressure in their first phase of side out. The pressure's off of France a little bit there, and they can attack with all that height and power through Halamatu Bar. Pass is a bit better here, they can use the middle. Once again, a much smarter swing, higher off the hands. And look at the French bench. Giardino, the captain, just willing players to dive for the ball in every situation. 5th block of this game. Could be the most important to this point because it gives Croatia the lead and it gives them a lot of confidence. Get on the slide, very difficult to access that line. We did see it earlier, but they'll just be patient in those moments. Smart from Croatia not to switch to the line block there because a lot of the meat will go through the cross court on that slide. Bar is dug from Fabrice. And once again, there's 3 up, 2 up in the block and Silves is there. They know that Gerbovica is going to keep trying to go for hands. Pass is a bit too straight. That means there's only the line available with a tip. It's a very good decision. Gerbovica passes herself into some problems, but in turn gets herself out of it very nicely by going high off the top hand. And that's the thing really that makes great outsides, is decision making in certain moments, whether it's a high ball, whether it's a long ball, whether it's a short ball with height like you saw there, and the block has time to really get across and set themselves. Gerbovica's definitely come in and made a difference. She was 14 points against Italy as well, but the errors are costly, and that has been something that has cost them in this game already. 30 errors from Croatia, 16 from France. They've surrendered a set here in errors, and that's why if you look at the French hitting percentages, DP at 36%, Rotar at 33, the two top scorers, but the errors are doing a lot of the talking for France, and the errors are the top scorer by a long distance for France today from Croatia. There's another one. Through the middle they come, that's much better. Ruttigan, point 3. That's her first kill of this game. Slightly wider set, back to position 5. Blockers trying to take position 1 on that wider set, and rightfully so. Julan does a good job of just bettering the ball and the situation she's given off the serve. She's there again. She's seeing everything. It's ridiculous. And how many times today have we seen a Julan dig and then France just turn it around? There's a wry little smile, but it's a world-class dig. And Bergamo are going to be very fortunate to have her next year in the Italian league. Well, France have also had 5 aces to Croatia's no aces. They've really defended the tips nicely, France. And that's why they're not playing perfect volleyball, but they're a high ball side. But they're a good high ball side. They do try and speed it up when they can, and they do go through the middle with Aluga. Back to the outside for Croatia, and it's another block. And the pins, this time it's Grabic that's struggling to get past the double trouble of France. Good cover, and then 2 up. Dupy and Aluga. And the French coaching side delighted, and rightfully so. Passes off, there won't be a middle here, so the middle blocker might get across, but in turn, it's another error. Error 32. And this is the thing that's hurting. But again, France are putting this pressure on in the block. In these slow ball situations, the middle's getting across, and the outside hitters are having to really try and do something miraculous to score the point. Croatia take a time out here.
Ajmo probat sad side out, odmah napravi da se vratimo u igru.
Ajmo!
A lot of CEV VIPs in the house. Vuk Koranovic as well, the MD of the CEV. And no wonder the dignitaries have made it over to Sweden on this Sunday, because it's a big day. I don't think that Swedish volleyball have ever had a bigger day in women's indoor, with Italy at home, the first time that they've ever hosted a European Championships. They've done some job of it. As back to the middle, the tip is too good, and maybe, just maybe, the setter not quite in their base position. Karla Antunovic just caught a bit of an easy out. There's a tip, but a bit of an easy out all the same in the middle for France. And wiping off much better swings, turning the ball quickly. That swing has worked a couple of times. Cross body, fast. It says if you're going to block me, you're going to have to be very quick and disciplined with those hands. Julan. Ball again off of the net, but they have this big advantage, France, on the outsides, that Bar can just hit their way out of trouble. It's another one to the line. She hits a lot of the out-of-system balls to the line, but it's on the line. I think France will be delighted with the way that they've started, but the pins are working better now. Gabavica. Good speed. Suarez trying to get across, but can't quite close. But when the pass is like this from France, it's going to be a struggle. Good defense might just get them out of a pickle though here. Croatia come again. France through the right, Dupé. She scores through the right-hand side, and if France don't score the first time when the pass is perfect, they do enough to get the ball back easier the second time, and then they can strike through their top scorer. Up to 16 now in this game. We said this against Slovakia. France are very good at when the opposition fight back. That's okay. France just up their level again. And that's exactly what's happened. They haven't capitulated. They haven't dropped their level, and the block is flourishing once more. Silves getting across and working well. And then Rotar on the left side is quick. Really good in system. She's been dealt some tough situations out of system today, but the seam's open. She's got incredibly long arms that can turn the ball nicely. Andrea Mihalovic is in. Julan. Brilliant once more. How many digs has she made today? And then if it doesn't go through Bar, look, they just go straight pointing to Julan. They know what she brings. It's a perfect defense in that situation to release the high ball, and the turn of the ball on the tip from Dupé is so good. France have a certain togetherness about them. Pass is in. And through the middle, we keep saying it, when the pass comes in and they can run that middle, Struniak is there. And you can see that Silves isn't paying much attention to the middle. And you can understand why, because they've hardly set it. So they're sort of saying, hey, we're going to give you the middle for free. But Struniak's only been set 4 times. Butigan's only been set 10 times. 18 times they've used the middle in 3 sets, which for me isn't quite enough, but the service is there. Giardino is back in just to consolidate with the pass to Bar. Smart moves from Hernandez, just showing that he doesn't want to wait to make substitutions. Happy to call them early. Julan leaves the fray for a moment. And then Silves is also replaced. by Noël Chouk-Barbet. And as we were saying about brothers that play beach volleyball, her brother also in the French program won an elite tournament at Beach Pro Tour level as well. So volleyballing families in abundance for France. Barbet cannot react quite quick enough. She subbed straight off. Outside hitter for a middle, and then the middle's replaced by the libero. Best set of the game. This one, Sriak has been very good. She missed the previous serve, but this one's good. Giardino's come off the bench and really a clutch pass, and that's why the team go to her. Difficult coming off the bench. We heard that from the Italians yesterday, who made a lot of changes. It's difficult coming off the bench and having to perform, but Giardino with the perfect pass at the right time. 3-point game again. Passes off, and this might just be a difficult one to put away. Good first swing. Can they capitalize the second phase, build through the rally? Well, Rapic is stepping up here, under pressure in the pass, still found a very good solution the first time, put the impressive Julien under some pressure, and then knew that she was in a quicker situation. Wow. And if you take the angle, Dupuy takes the line all day. And if you take the line, she'll batter through the angle. High fives all round for France, and rightfully so. They know that they're getting close to the finish line. And hold on a minute, Rotar, has the whistle gone? Or has there been a timeout? They love calling timeouts on Rotar serve, and that's why she's kicking off. Unlike the French to show their emotions.
Da 91 dođe napred, ako ju baci, isto paralela, pogotovo visoke lopte. I ajmo malo energije unutra, malo poginut sad, nema šta, kraje, ajde!
Rotar does get a chance to serve, and better. Well, that's superb through that right side. You've seen Fabrice operate out there, but Mihailovic is off the bench and just gives a different look. Fast feet to the ball, can come and get it that little bit earlier. 2-point game, Croatia right in this hit. Bar the target, back on for Giardino. And her first job is to put that away, and she's been called for a throw here, and I think France might have a few more issues with this one compared to the one earlier on, which was a throw. That ball was tight, and I don't know, I can understand the decision from the referee, but also unsure what else Bar is supposed to do. Maybe go deep. But she's so high, it makes it look like a downward throw. Well, France didn't like that decision, but they have to figure it out. And Bar's going to come through again, and she takes that anger out from a side-out perspective. Point number 9 for Bar. In system, it's a bullet. That's what I was saying earlier. In system, you have to think about taking the cross-court angle on her, because good luck digging that, defenders. could cause some serious harm. France back to a 2-point game. Croatia need a side out. There's no middle, so there's 2 up in the block. Defense from Bar is there. Good defense from France all day today. Mihailovic is showing why she's been brought on. First ball into the angle. This time she gets after the line. Holds the platform beautifully, Bar. But fast off of the hands of the French blocker from Mihailovic. Game on. Well, Marcia Minar is back on to serve. Try and play some defense as well, but again, serve straight to 6. And I don't know if you want to be serving Juliette Julan in any game, but she's been phenomenal. The ball's in system, 6 is very high up, but trying to deal with the seams that are left in between the block. Gang comes in and then goes straight back off again as Stimats is in to play the bearer. Her first task is the pass. It's a good pass. And finally, having scored 2 in a row, Mihailovic is shut down. France are aware of where that ball's going, and they're 2 away from victory. Another big evening or a big afternoon in the office on this Super Sunday from Depy. They've been resilient out there. Gabovica is showing us a lot of different swings, and she's showing us a lot of different things at the net that have been impressive. A timeout's been called here from France. Just Hernandez trying to stop a late onslaught from Croatia.
The ball will go tense and be quick before, okay, to cut the ball before. After the setter is in front, okay? That idea of the line is always good. You are calling one leg with the other. Eh? No, you can do one. You are sitting also there. Hey, eh? Alena, I think you can, because this service looks
Huge moments here in Gothenburg. Croatia need a good serve. It is a good serve, but it's a great pass from Rota. Then they can release to the pins, and that has been France all evening. And look at the celebrations. They know that was a bullet from Mihailovic from the service line. Bar gets back to swinging on the line as well. Match point then for France. That was a big side out. France knew it. And now the impressive Hilamatu Bar. So this overpass could be put down here. I think Silves backed off of it purely for the reason that the last one was given as a throw off the overpass. They want the touch here. Slightly scrappy from France here, but let's see. Was there a block touch? No. Unsuccessful challenge. 1 match point saved from Croatia. Now they need the break points. Second set point for France to go back-to-back 3-0s. Great blocking. Chance to come again. This would be a big moment. But once again, Julan is there. And France go block out through Rotar, and it is back-to-back 3-0 victories. They're celebrating. They know it's impressive. They know that it's a massive step towards qualification to the knockout rounds for Croatia. Back-to-back 3-0 losses, and that's 9 EuroVolley losses in a row for them. But they are improving. They are showing signs that they will be at the races in the games later on in the competition. But France, with their firepower on the wings and their block defense and their serving as well, were just too much in the end for Croatia. 14 blocks this afternoon for France. They take it 3-0. (25-16), 25-17, 25-22. 2 wins. 3-0 put them level at the top with Italy. Sweden just 1 point behind them, having dropped 2 sets yesterday. 16 attacks, 4 blocks in set 3. The 1 ace from Croatia, but too many errors from Croatia as well. That doesn't quite tell you the whole story. 37 errors to 24 from France today. Attack direction, France. And that's a good spread. You can't tell who it is or what situation they're in. Obviously, tendencies are certainly a thing in this game. Some go away, some go cross-body more. In an out-of-system, it's very difficult to hit those sharp angles. But Croatia not setting the right side much at all in set 3, and that was without Fabris. But they did go to Mihailovic, the left-hander, 3 times in a row, where she was 2 from 3.
Amelie,
Let's hear from Rota.
congratulations, second victory for France. 3-0 again, but it was a tough match.
Yes, it feels good to win this game. It's important to start this competition well, and I think we did it. We are aggressive from the beginning of the game, so I think it's good for us to start the European Championship like this.
Could you say something to your fans in France, of course, on your own language?
Merci à tout le monde de nous regarder, c'est vraiment important pour nous. Voilà, nous on est en train de kiffer ce qu'on est en train de faire, on va essayer de continuer comme ça et supportez-nous encore. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much.
Well, I think she said it all. Important to start like this for France. 2-3-0 wins. Sweden up against Italy. That's the top of the table clash. 2 undefeated sides. Isabel Hack, 38 points yesterday, up against the country she lives in and plays for Amoko Conegliano. That will be a match that a lot of eyes are on next. But for France, they couldn't have started this competition any better. 2 wins, 2 3-0s. And after beating Slovakia on the opening day, they go again and win 3-0 against Croatia. That's 2 losses now for Croatia, 3-0. They'll have to pick themselves back up. And Croatia are up against Slovakia tomorrow. France will play But there you have it, a win for France, takes them to the top of Pool D. Italy versus Sweden will start in just over an hour and a quarter time. Well, thank you for joining us, France.
you want me.